Hi, I'm Rob Cram, and today we're taking a look at Capcom's Street Fighter V, which finally released today, officially, and is plagued with problems. There's a lot of complaints from people over various issues, and I think I'm here to set the record straight. And I do feel kind of a bit like I've been less misled a bit. I got my review copy from Capcom last week. Obviously, during that time, the servers were flawless. I could jump into any of the modes and play them perfectly, and I wouldn't have any of these kind of problems that people are having today. So you can see here from my history, if I scroll all the way down here, way before the launch, and there's been no kind of issues. Obviously, I've earned loads of fight money, and that's all been reset countless times. So you can see I've been playing since the 10th of February. But playing the game now officially once it's launched, and I've had several disconnects during survival mode, story mode, and such like. I mean, let's have a look here. And I'm not going to sort of bog down and dwell on it too much. But the point is, at this point in time, Capcom are having issues with the server, which makes you wonder why they had the beta. I mean, surely that was to make sure the servers would be up and running and not giving people grief. So, the big issue now then is that, you know, you try and play a mode and it's very hard to even get through, and, you know, you have to be connected online. If you don't connect online, then you don't earn any fight points or fight money, which takes away some of the grinding that you have to do to buy stuff from the shop when that launches next month. So it's kind of a bit of a letdown that you can't get any of that stuff if you're not earning fight money. So I'm going to make an assumption that the reason why you can't earn fight money offline is probably to stop people from cheating or working out exploits to gain fight money. That's my reasoning, and there you go. Look, it's happened right before your very eyes. So you know, there you go. You know, I couldn't have made that happen deliberately. That's just happened as I'm recording now, which basically means that Street Fighter V is really not playable at this point in time, unless you're going to practice offline in the training mode, or take your chances with the story mode and earn some fight money. Now you can earn fight money by playing just one round, and you know, you might be able to get that, but you have to keep logging back in if you want that to register. So it's a bit disappointing. Now you've just dropped what, $60 or £50. You bought the game on PlayStation 4 on Steam, and it's not working properly on day one. You know, it's not that it wouldn't be the first game for this to happen to, but at the same time, you know, you're being locked out of the modes. The only safe thing you can really be playing at this point in time is the training mode, where you can then just play against a computer. Which is all well and good, but it just seems a bit of a letdown if you've paid money to want to be playing this game. So I'm going to bring on to another point, and then that's the modes of play that are on offer. Capcom have been very vocal about their roadmap for release. And there's two ways of really looking at the situation here. on one hand, you've got a game that is, you could argue, is not ready for release. It's lacking the modes, especially if you're a single player playing solo and not really interested in the online play. It's perhaps premature to be interested in the game at this point in time, because a lot of the single player stuff is not even available yet. There's no arcade mode versus the computer, and you're left with just a survival mode and the story mode, and the story mode is not something that you're going to spend loads of time playing. That said, the survival mode probably is the meat of the solo sort of playing. It's obviously quite challenging, and if you play it on the hardest setting, you've got to beat 100 characters with a single life bar, and if you could do that with every character, that's going to take you quite a long time, and you'll have to be pretty skilled to pull that off. So an arcade mode, yes, you're going to play through it maybe once with each character, but you know, aside from that, how much time are you going to spend playing an arcade mode? So the fact that it's not included at the moment is a shame, but there's also, you've got to put things in perspective, and the survival mode is where it's at. But as you've just seen, unfortunately, you can't play the survival mode online because of the server problems that the game's having. So we're going to assume, and let's play devil's advocate here, that Capcom fix the servers within the next 12 hours so that by tomorrow you'll be able to play all the modes without issue. So that's great for people that are online, but obviously if you're playing offline, then you won't be able to play or be concerned with the fight money and unlocking extra content. So what you're paying for is the bare bones game, and that's it, unless you can connect online and update the game. So there's that to consider as well. So a lot of people complaining that, you know, there's these lack of modes, but as I've said, Capcom have been very vocal with their roadmap of release. So Alex is going to be a character that's going to be unlocked very soon. You know, we're talking only a couple of weeks till March anyway, before some of the stuff. So let's go back to the main menu and just focus on that. So let's see what you've got. And I mean, I covered this in the review. So you've got the story mode. You can play that offline. You won't earn any fight money. But if you're not bothered about that, then who cares? It's a very basic mode, and you can do that with each character and play through it as many times as you like, earning fight money if you are online. You've got the versus mode. That's just local versus another human player. You can't play versus against the computer. Maybe this will be added at a later date, but I mean, that seems like a standard feature that should be in the game. Survival mode, as I said, that's probably your go-to single player mode for just fighting, and I mean, for me, that's probably my favourite mode of any fighting game, and I think they've done a good job with it here when it works. The challenge is now, this is a different kettle of fish altogether, and this is going to have all sorts of different modes, sub-modes part of it. So you'll have boss battles, you'll have the challenges that you're used to from previous games where you've got to input commands, which start off quite easy and then they get more or progressively harder as you move through the levels. And then, you know, there's all sorts of different challenges. There'll be daily challenges that will come up, and other sort of bonuses where you can earn more fight money. And then you've got the basic training mode. Again, we just showed you that. It's you can sit there and just hone your skills with whatever character and whatever stage. And then obviously you've got all of the online stuff. which again is a bit risky to play at this point in time until the servers are fixed. So, to defend the release, I think on one hand it's interesting that Capcom have released the game in its current state. If you ignore the current server issues and the problems that people are having, it's unusual that you've got a lot of stuff not included in the core game. And you know, if you've not informed with what's happening with the release schedule, you could be fooled into thinking, well, what the hell have I just purchased for $60 or whatever? There's a bare bones game here, and you might decide, well, that's not enough for me, I'm going to have my money back, because it's just lacking the basics that I expect from a fighting game. On the other hand, you could look at it as if to say, well, Capcom have released this game early, and at least I'm able to play the game now, get some practice in, and earn some fight money in preparation for the actual proper release, which is going to be coming in March, as you can see here. Available as a free update in March, the shop. Challenges, an update in March. So look at the proper game releasing in March. Now you've got a bonus kind of entry into playing the game to give you a chance to build up some fight money, so when that shop opens, you can immediately purchase the new character and whatever other content they've got coming up. And then you've got other stuff, the challenges to look forward to. So you're not really locked out of practice and earning fight money, which is really what's important here. You're not locked out of playing other players locally, and you're not locked out of playing other players online. So in this regard, you know, you've got a game that's functional, lacking in modes, but you should view it that you're fortunate to play it now rather than having to wait weeks and weeks for it to release in a more complete state. And I think that's the way you should be looking at this release. Now obviously these server problems are damn well annoying, frustrating, and to me I would even say forget fight money at the moment, forget even playing online at the moment until these server issues are fixed. And you know, as I said in my review, I had no issues whatsoever, and so I would assume that it's due to the huge numbers of people logging onto the servers that are straining them and causing the problems now. But you might say, well, what was the beta for then? The beta was for testing the servers. Why are they having these problems now? Surely they would have had the data from the beta, and they would have had some preparation time to get this all sorted. There's that, but you know, it's you can never tell how things are going to go from pre-release to release, so you've got to give them some kind of leeway that problems can occur no matter how well prepared you might be. But I have a personal opinion about betas anyway, or betas, that they're just kind of the new demos that we would have got years ago, and they're just being classed as betas as a new kind of marketing way of getting people to play your game and drumming up interest for your game. Basically it's just a demo, and they can claim whatever they like, that they're testing whatever behind the scenes, but no, it's a demo as far as I'm concerned. It's just a new way of doing things, and I'm sure some developer might just say, well, that's my ignorance for me to believe that, but I'm entitled to my opinion. So to recap what I've said, yes, I'm going to stick with my review score. That was a 9 out of 10 I've given this game. It's an excellent game when it works. It's an excellent game given the fact that there's more stuff coming, and when that stuff's included, there's going to be quite a robust and solid experience for single players and online players. And as I said, Capcom have been very vocal about what their plans are for this game. So as a consumer, you should really have been more informed prior to purchasing the game, to know exactly what was included at launch and what you're going to get in a few weeks after launch. So yeah, that's the state of play with Street Fighter V. So yep, it's a great game, but it's just having its problems at the moment. So there's that issue as well. As I said, I would recommend that you don't get too caught up in fight money at the moment, and just play it as a practice. I think that's really the message that I have to give to people now, is play it as a game just to hone your skills in preparation for the full release in March, where you'll suddenly get all these extras opening up for you. So that's it. That's my opinion after suffering it along with everybody else with the disconnects and the frustration. I mean, imagine you're playing survival up to 100 fights, and you get halfway through and bam, you get server disconnected and you can't continue, and you've lost all your progress and you've lost all your potential fight money, and it's a pain in the butt. So obviously, being sensible, you should not even bother trying to play those modes until these problems are fixed. So I mean, Capcom could have got it right. They could have delayed the game and said, right, well, we're not going to launch it now. But as I said, on the other hand, look at it as you're getting a preview of the full game, which comes to life in March, and that you're being able to practice and get a kind of early access to the game before it properly launches. Okay, I think I've said enough. I'm just repeating myself now. Yeah, so thanks for listening, and if you've got any comments or any of your own opinion about Street Fighter V and the launch, then post in the comments and get some discussion going. But I think I've covered all the points, and thank you for watching. Okay.